Thank you very much. Secretary Austin, General Milley, thank you for being here. I want to start in Hawaii. The people of Oahu have suffered tremendously with the biggest pollution event in the state of Hawaii at Red Hill bulk fuel storage facility. And the defueling and closure of Red Hill must continue to stay on schedule. I want to submit for the record a unified statement from Hawaii state leaders about the importance of pure water and the remediation of the lands impacted by the Red Hill fuel spill without objection. Secretary Austin, can you reassure the people of Hawaii that Red Hill will never be used for fuel storage or fuel operations once it is emptied?
Yes, that's when I made that decision. That was my intent, Senator, and also thank you for everything that you and the delegation have done to help us move forward.
Are you on track to send your certification to Congress that our Indo-Pacific fuel needs won't be adversely impacted by the closure?
Yes, we are on track, and this is something that we work routinely. I just met with my leadership on Red Hill here last week to check to see where we are, and yes, we are.
Thank you. As General Milley said, war with China is not inevitable. To avoid conflict, the department must use all tools available to it, new capabilities, alliances, partnerships, and facilities in the AOR. Secretary Austin, the budget includes $9.1 billion for the PDI. How are you going to ensure that these funds improve readiness and bolster deterrence without falling into the trap of fancy, expensive, gold-plated weapon systems?
Well, this is something, as you know, Senator, that we track very closely as the Indo-Pacific Command commander develops his requests. We work through each request with him, and we're investing in those things, and that will provide us the ability to further forward station our troops and capability. And so infrastructure is really, really important to us, and you'll see that reflected in the PDI.
I think it's really important that we understand how cheap partnerships are compared to these weapon systems. Obviously, we need a balance of both, but I think it's important for the Defense Appropriations Committee to make it clear to you that these partnerships are highly leveraged. I mean, I think about Pacific Pathways with the Army. This is really small money and an enormous impact. Whenever I'm in talking to Indo-PACOM or in the Asia-Pacific region, they don't talk about the weapon system. They talk about Pacific Pathways. I think EDCA is another example of a pretty highly leveraged partnership. It's not $0, but it's not nearly as expensive as the other stuff. Commanders are preoccupied with failing sewer systems, fragile electrical grids, and deteriorating barracks. Dealing with these issues have real opportunity costs and take away from our readiness. General Milley, the active Army, Navy, and Air Force have requested over $14 billion for FSRM, $470 million increase over last year. How are services ensuring that they'll make meaningful progress on improving the most critical aging infrastructure?
Yeah, thanks, Senator, for that. Each of the services have very, very deliberate inspection programs. They have readiness calculations for all of their infrastructure. And they go through a very rigorous process to ensure that their infrastructure remains modernized and up to date, both from an operational standpoint for training, but also for taking care of the families and the troops. So they've got very rigorous processes to do that. Each one is slightly different, but I can come back to you with the exacts for each of the services if you'd like. But I've looked at those processes, and I was Chief of Staff of the Army. They're all very rigorous in each of those services.
Please, thank you. Last question for Secretary Austin. Last year, I stressed the importance of interagency coordination in the COFA negotiations and DOD's role as a silent but very important partner in the process. Negotiations are ongoing, but I think they're going reasonably well, and the strategic importance of these relationships with the freely associated states continue to grow. Can you just talk about how important it is that the United States successfully renew the COFA agreements on time?
It's critical, Senator. These are partners that have we have a long history with. They are incredibly helpful, incredibly patriotic, as you know. a large percentage of their population serve in our military. And as you pointed out, state has the lead for this, but DOD is certainly a player, and we will continue to contribute and hopefully help move things forward in a meaningful way.
As does VA. I just wanted to quickly point out this, we are talking about relatively small money, for instance, to make sure that veterans who are residing in COFA states get the VA services that they deserve, but we need a statutory change for that. There's some resistance as if it's some big budget pressure item. It's not. But as you deal with Pacific Island leaders, I like to say, thank God for small favors. These are the kinds of things that define our relationship with these Pacific Island leaders, whether we respect them, whether we respect their citizens, whether Secretary Blinken's slogan of friends, allies, partners is real to them. And so these big investments are important, but it's the taking care of the people as though they are true partners that I think makes the difference. Senator Murkowski.
Thank you.